Osteoporosis and osteopenia are diagnoses that are thrown around all the time. People don't tell you exactly what you can do about it. They don't give you tools how to protect yourself. So in this video, we're gonna break it down on the 6 best exercises you can be doing. 3 of them are gonna be without weight, and then 3 of them are gonna be if you have access to a gym. Let's get into the video. Now, number 1, if you don't have any equipment, we want to work on a hip hinge squat. This is the safest movement pattern that we can do because we're protecting our low back, we're protecting our knees, and we're protecting our hips. We want our Superman or our Superwoman emblem to be stacked over our belt buckle. So we want to drive through these areas. If I'm driving through here, then I'm using my hips. I'm shifting my hips back. I'm not bending at my back, and I'm not bending too much through my knees. So a hip hinge squat, typically we get up against a wall and we measure our foot away from the wall. We keep our face in line with our chest, and we reach back with our butt like this. So my lower legs are like stakes that I drove into the ground. I want to show you from the side. I'm going to drive my lower legs into the ground. They're going to stay totally vertical, and then I'm reaching back with my butt and I'm pushing forward with my butt. This really loads my hamstrings and my glutes, but I'm getting weight-bearing exercises. So I'm challenging myself in a really good position, and I want to do that. I want to do 10 reps. Everything that we're going to talk about today, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 with all of these exercises. So this hip hinge, I've got to get this movement pattern down. Our clients that have the best results with back pain, knee pain, and hip pain, they do really good hip hinges because it becomes natural for them to drive back like this. So we're working on bone health, but we're also working on good movement patterns so we don't tweak ourselves. We continue to move through our hips. We've got to redistribute that stress through the hips, but we have to make those bones stronger at the same time. Number 2, we're gonna do bird dogs. Really fun exercise. We get on the ground. If you can't get up and down from the ground, go ahead and do it on your bed, but I'm gonna show you right here on the ground. So I come down into this position, get into a tabletop right here, and then we wanna make it safe for our back. So the first thing that we do is we use our arms. So I'm gonna do with my arms, I'm just raising up. I wanna pretend a laser pointer is in my belly button, pointing straight down. I wanna keep it in the same spot, and then I'm gonna raise my arm up, thumb up, and then I come back, press the other arm down, and this transition is really important. Driving up, coming back down. My chin is tucked, and I'm rotating through, just using the arms. You notice that my low back is not moving at all. So when we're doing this stuff against gravity and we're challenging our bone health, we also want to be thinking about, I don't want to move in areas that I shouldn't be moving in. I don't want to be putting stress on my low back. So we're getting exercises that are going to be really positive for you when you have back pain, neck pain, knee pain, all of that stuff, but we're also challenging our bone health. We want to cover 2 bases at one time. So we're going to do 10 with our arms. After 2 weeks, I want you to transition and just do your legs. So we come here, holding this position, laser pointer in the middle, pointing straight down, and then I reach back and just tap right here. This is harder because my arms have to hold more of my weight. When I'm using my arms, my legs have to hold more of my weight. So I'm driving back, trying to stay right in the middle. And then after 4 weeks, that last 2 weeks, all these plans, like 6 weeks is a really good plan for getting a lot of change in the body. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do both, but I'm gonna tap. I get my arms up and I tap. But I need to be doing each one of those with the arms and the legs. I have to stay in a neutral position with my laser pointer pointing straight down. My belly button shouldn't be moving, and then I can progress to the next exercise. So if you have a partner at home and they watch you doing this, you gotta make sure that you're covering those bases. You've hit that milestone of stability to be able to move on to the next one where we get more extremities involved. Number 3, we need to do cardio with hip extension. So a lot of our clients, they'll come in, they're having problems, they ride a bike all the time. There's nothing wrong with riding the bike. If you enjoy riding the bike, keep doing it. But we need to be able to do cardio with hip extension. We need to be coming down against gravity. We need to be putting pressure through our bones. So walking, that's really one of the best things that you can do if you don't have equipment. You don't need to go for a run. It'd be great if you could, but if it's causing you pain, we want to do walking. So just walking for 10 minutes. Now, when we're walking, we do want to think about the way that we're walking. We want to keep our body in a slight forward lean. We don't want to walk upright, pulling ourselves forward. That means that we don't use our butt when we're walking. What we want to do when we're walking is have a little bit of a lean so we start to tilt. Our momentum's going forward and we're catching our momentum as we drive forward. So you could think about it as power walking. So you're walking fairly quickly. We have to have good hip strength and we're using our glutes when we do that. So we're getting hip extension when we're doing that. So those are the 3 exercises. If you don't have any weight, 3 exercises you can be doing that will help you with your bone density, and that's going to help you from going from osteopenia to osteoporosis. Leg press being one of the most important exercises because we can load really healthily. We're not going to challenge the body too much. So when we're looking at that, we have this leg press machine that's a shuttle. So we use bands on this, but you can use any type of leg press machine. What we're going to do is lay down. I want to keep my back flat. This is actually really important. So keeping my back flat right here, what we see a lot as I push up, this is actually really heavy. When I push up, I'm going to be coming back down. I come down to 90 degrees and then drive back up. None of this should be causing any pain. And then what we see a lot is that people come down, they don't have the hip mobility as they come down, and their hips pop up so they move through their low back. So I want you to watch out for that. Your butt should be pressed down to any leg press machine that you use. Your butt should stay down, your back should stay flat, and then we push ourselves up right here. And this is pretty heavy, but as long as it's not painful, that's what the research is showing us, that we should be doing as much load as we can, 3 sets of 10, and not challenging ourselves too far. We want to build muscle in that area, put a lot of pressure on those bones, as long as it's not painful. Okay, number 2, we're gonna do a Paloff press. So when we do a Paloff press, we're looking to use our abdomen to resist rotation. So I'm coming straight out like this. I get into that hinge position that we worked on in the beginning. I'm engaging my glutes, putting pressure down into them. Now I have external load right here. I'm pulling this weight off, and then I go straight out. Now I have a long lever arm, and I start shaking because it's a lot harder. I come straight back in, it's really easy. I go straight back out, and it's difficult, straight back in. And so I'm doing 10 of these, out and in, staying in a good neutral position. I'm challenging my abdomen while challenging this hip so that I don't rotate. And then I'm gonna switch sides. I'll do the exact same thing, driving out. I'm staying in a neutral position and my abdomen is resisting rotation. And I've got a ton of pressure down through that leg. So I have external load pressing down through that leg so that I can maintain good positions. I wanna resist motion with my abdomen and take that stress off my spine. Now let's go to number 3. Number 3, if we have the equipment, then we want to use an elliptical machine because we can really gauge how much pressure we're getting out of it. We can increase the intensity, and we want to do that with hip extension. We want to really fire up our glutes and hamstrings. That's going to be really beneficial for you. It's bone health, but it's also beneficial for you in a lot of different ways when you're trying to walk, jog, do any activities up against gravity. You need your glutes to be firing. So what we do here is that we start out, we'll do it 30 seconds in a hinge position, and then we'll do 30 seconds upright, and we rotate through that about 5 times. So total 10 reps, right? And we'll do that for 5 minutes. You don't have to go for the longest period of time. If you're just doing cardio, don't make this part of your cardio. This is part of your bone health. This is part of firing up your glutes, right? So I'm gonna come right here, and I'm gonna shift my hips back right here, and I'm maintaining this position where I'm pushing through my glutes and my heels. I can increase the elevation, I can increase the intensity. Right now I'm just increasing the users, don't worry. I don't know how to use this machine. There we go. Okay, so now I'm increasing the intensity right here. So now it got really difficult for my legs. So maintaining this position, driving out, and I'm in a neutral position with my spine, pushing back. I'm gonna do that for 30 seconds. You're gonna see this get pretty difficult. I'm gonna run out of breath here pretty soon. 30 seconds, and then I come upright. This is my rest period, coming upright. And then the next 30 seconds, I'm driving back down. With that intensity, I may increase it a little bit, the resistance. And then 30 seconds upright, that's my rest period. I'm gonna do each one of those 5 times, so a total of 10. Now I have my routine for my bone health in the gym. So when we talk about osteoporosis and osteopenia, it's really important that we do exercises against gravity. That's how we're gonna get that resorption of the bone. We're putting pressure on it. We get our bone mineral content up, and then that will increase our bone mineral density over time. So we wanna be really consistent with this stuff at least 3 days a week. If you do it every day, this exercise program every day is not gonna cause you any problems. So you can do it every day if you want the maximum amount of benefit. Get that bone mineral content up and do it consistently over time, and your bone mineral density is gonna go up, and you're not gonna have nearly as many problems. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you get notified about videos that come up. We're gonna be continuing to put out content for you on exactly the things that you need to know so you can get better. Leave comments, let us know what content you want, because we actually have a clinic that works with 200 clients on a consistent basis, and we're fixing these problems for them. Now, with osteoporosis and osteopenia, weight bearing is good, but external load, actually putting more weight, more resistance is better. So do that gradually, be safe, get mobile and stay active.